And I think Austin Eckler is one of those dudes that could rival guys like Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook by the time the season's over. Right now, I think Austin Eckler's that guy that you can get outside of the top 10 running backs that is going to give you that top 3 to top 5 value.
Jamar Chase, he's going like right around that round 4, round 5 range, I believe. I think he's absolutely the best raw talent I've seen come out of college since Julio Jones. And I think the Bengals are going to be down a lot this year. They're going to be chucking all year. I look for Chase to have even a better year than Jefferson had last year.
I'm going to start drafting Packers in stacks with Aaron Rodgers, just because the narrative right now is that Aaron Rodgers is likely to, not play this year or go to a different team. So I think it's really taken a hit on the value of Devontae Adams, who's you can get towards the round 2, round 3 turn, and Aaron Jones, who you can get in that same general area. These are guys that were going in round 1 before the Rodgers controversy started. So if you get Adams, Jones, and then Rodgers in round 10, and then Rodgers ends up staying with the Packers, then you're in really good shape.
Another guy I'm high on is Mark Andrews. He enters this year on a contract year, and he's kind of dropping in drafts I've been seeing lately. I think he's going to return to what he was in the 2019 season when he had a pretty good season.
So Jonathan Taylor has been going in the mid to late second round, so he's a value there. I wasn't drafting him in the beginning, but now if he falls to me in that second round, then I'll take Taylor. I've been grabbing a decent amount of him lately.
I'll tell you right now, I think Urban Meyer is going to drive that team into the ground quicker. I'm going to bet this. So I think, first of all, the Jags are going to be terrible. Urban Meyer is going to try not to fuck up Trevor Lawrence. I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be good. Urban Meyer is not the right coach, I don't think anyways.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to our Run Pure Sports Best Ball Playoffs show. We got Best Ball Playoffs starting. I'm here with Snyder, and we hosted a bunch of shows over the summer. We had some success with some of our calls. Unfortunately, during the regular season, most of my teams got just decimated with injuries. I don't know how yours did, Snyder, but I got one team out of about like 300 or however many I drafted to the final round, and that was in the sophomore and rookies contest, and I ended up coming in like 30th place or something there. So nothing great. Like it was definitely a money pit this past summer, but a large part of that was just because of just really, really bad like injury luck with quarterbacks, taking a bunch of goose eggs at quarterback. I had Ryan Fitzpatrick as my main backup, him and Jameis Winston, and those dudes just fucking killed me. And then on top of that, Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, I had a ton of exposure to those guys. So when they were getting their bye weeks later in the season, or bye weeks, or missing games, I just like kept taking zeros at the QB position. So it kind of eliminated all my Jamar Chase exposure and all those like Eckler teams and frickin' Jonathan Taylor teams. I just couldn't overcome it. So how did you end up doing?
Yeah, I had one team that did pretty well. I was deep into the semis. Actually finished tied for the lead in my semis. I did well. I won the couple of the 18-mans or whatever. It came down to I had Dak and Amari there late. I think it was a Sunday night game or Monday night game, one of the two. Needed Dak to go off. Dak went off. Amari did all right. I mean, I didn't need much out of him, but I ended up coming down to I needed 0.64 points out of Dak and Amari, the combo in the second half. Ended up only getting one pass out of Dak for 8 yards. Cooper dropped the pass there. Ended up tied, and then I lost the tiebreaker to go to the finals. So that was a a rough one in it.
That is bad.
To put salt in the wounds, the guy that beat me ended up having Justin Jackson on that week where Austin Eckler was out with COVID, and I had Austin Eckler on my team. I mean, that was one of the main guys you were promoting throughout the season. I ended up with him on quite a few teams, and that was just a little salt in the wounds there at the end.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It was a rough one, but it's kind of an anomaly season. Hopefully next year we're not dealing with all this COVID stuff, and like just in general, I think the fantasy gods were punishing us for telling everybody to fade Henry, saying that Henry was gonna break down at some point of the season, not finish up the season. Like, we were right on that call. But at the end of the day, it was bad mojo, and it got punished for it. So I'm never going to spin that type of angle again with a fade. And if I want to fade a guy, I'll just say to fade him. I'm not going to put any causes to it. But
hex on him.
Yeah, exactly. Because you just hex yourself, man. Like, literally, like every one of my guys. Like, I had 25% of my teams basically wiped out before the season even started. When ETN went down, and then J.K. Dobbins, I'm sure you had a ton of exposure.
Yeah, I had quite a bit of Dobbins. That was hurtful.
Yeah, Gus Edwards too. And it's just like couldn't catch a break anywhere. But it is what it is. We'll get it next season. But in the meantime, we're back teaming up with Underdog, and we got a awesome promotion going around this time, and they are offering a up to $100 match with your first deposit using the promo code RUNPURE. So you want to sign up for an account over at Underdog if you haven't already, using the promo code RUNPURE, and they're going to give you up to $100 for a deposit match. So that's huge, because the main tournament right now that they're running is about a $25 entry fee, and that's called what's that called? The Gauntlet. So basically, you're drafting players that you think can advance the furthest throughout the playoffs, and each round of playoffs is a round that you're facing six other opponents, I believe, and you just keep advancing throughout the playoffs until you get to the finals. But if you don't win the first week, then you're eliminated. So it's like kind of a sudden death elimination rounds on this tournament, which is cool, because it introduces all sorts of strategy. I notice a lot of people are trying to stack the obvious candidates to make it through to the finals, but that's not necessarily the best path to take when you consider what's going to happen in week one. Like, what are the matchups going to look like in week one and everything like that. So what are your thoughts on the way that this contest is structured, and which strategies are you taking, Snyder?
So far, it's came down to where I'm able to stack the Bills quite frequently. I've had a lot of draft picks toward the end of like that 4, 5, 6 range, and I've been attacking Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. That combo's right there at the 5-6 turn. Pretty easy combo. I'm pretty high on the Bills going into the playoffs. I think they can make some noise. They got a high-octane offense, and that defense can show up. I think the optimal that I'm looking at is kind of trying to stack 2 offenses from the AFC that I think can get through, and then maybe for my running backs, I'll be targeting NFC running backs, but maybe 2 passing attacks from one division and go with the running backs from another division, something like that I think I can get at least one team into the Super Bowl. I mean, if your guys go out, I mean, you're dead in the water. So you want to have, I think, having 2 chambers in the holster is pretty good. You can get the Bills and the Colts, or the Bills and the Chargers, Bills and Chiefs, or likewise for the NFC too. But I'm also not passing on value. If there's some really good value and it drops me at certain spots, I'm not purposely getting off course just to pass up on what I think is a good value at the time.
Yeah, it makes sense. And one thing that I notice people are doing, a lot of people are trying to project who's going to go and face each other in the Super Bowl. So picking a team from the NFC and one from the AFC, I tend to lean the other way, where you pick 2 teams from one conference that you think might make it through. I don't want to try to get it right on 2 different conferences when I can, choose a couple teams that I think will make it to at least the divisional round in the same conference, and like just hope I hit there. Like if I'm going in the opposite division, opposite conference for one of my stacks, then I'm typically gonna stack a team from like either the AFC or the NFC that I think can make it all the way to the Super Bowl. And then sometimes on the other side, if like I said, if I'm stacking the opposite conference, then I'll stack multiple teams in there. Like I'll stack like the 49ers pieces that I like, along with the Rams pieces that I like, and just just a bunch of different pieces from different teams, or different sets from different teams. You want to try to get as much correlation as you can get in there. But, at the same time, I think it makes sense to kind of try to spread out what you can without affecting your long-term path to getting as many players as you can into that final. But yeah, so it's a little bit of strategy involved. I'm sitting here looking at a kind of a chart of the teams that playoff seedings and potential face-offs in week 1. And right now, the document that we're looking at, we got the Eagles at the 7 seed facing the Rams at the 2 seed. And this all could blow up on Sunday. We don't know how this is going to play out. This is just a projection. The number 6 seed got the 49ers. They could easily lose to the Rams, and the Saints could get in or something. So anything could happen in that scenario. Versus the number 3 Buccaneers, the number 5 Cardinals versus the number 4 Cowboys. The winner of that matchup would face the Packers in the next round, because the Packers have a first round bye. That's another element that you have to add into this, is considering, like the teams that are on buys, the Packers, and right now, tentatively, the Titans, that could go to the Chiefs or the Bengals, who are also in play for that number 1 seed. But right now, the Titans have the easiest path. I think all they have to do is beat the Jaguars, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So they just need to beat the Jaguars. On the AFC side, projecting right now the Chargers to beat the Raiders and face the Chiefs, and then the Colts face the Bengals, and the Patriots to face the Bills. That's just my projection. It's not set in stone. It's not like any type of like sure thing or anything like that. There's a lot of moving pieces right now. We're recording this on Friday before week 18 games start, so anything can happen. And the winner of the Patriots Bills would face the Titans, allegedly, according to this. So there's a lot of interesting matchups if we're considering this as the first round of those playoffs. And right now, I'm kind of looking at a 49ers team that has a pretty decent shot of making some noise in the playoffs if they can get to the playoffs, because if they face the Bucs in round 1, like the Bucs are decimated right now. They just lost their last or one of their last stud players, just goes into the stands and ran off the field. So they are struggling right now, and we've seen Tom Brady with no weapons this season already when he faced the Saints in particular, and it was not a pretty sight. So there is this definite possibility that a coach like Shanahan with a team like the 49ers could advance past like dopey Bruce Arians and the Bucs. That could easily happen. And that, which means the 49ers would potentially face the Rams in the second round of those playoffs. And if you're facing the Rams, basically Shanahan has owned McVay for 5 out of the last 6 times that they faced each other. So there's a very good possibility for the 49ers to have a path to get to that championship game.
Yeah, I like that call on the 49ers there. Shanahan is like one of the type of coaches that could scheme and game plan ways for these 49ers to just grind this game out, keep the ball just run the crap out of the ball control, keep the ball away from Tom Brady as much as possible. It does sound like Mike Evans might be back. I'm not sure on Fournette. I've seen that he might have been practicing limited the other day, but they're definitely hurting for sure. And they got Antonio drama going on. That's only just going to be a headache for the team as well. Shanahan, I mean, that 49ers offense is legit. I mean, they've got Kittle. They've got a good rushing attack. I mean, they've got a solid defense too. I think Tampa Bay is definitely vulnerable there. And then if they can get against the Rams, I mean, I'm looking to fade the Rams at all costs in this best balls and in the playoffs, like betting and going against them, fading them DFS wise and everything. I don't believe in this Rams team. I kind of think they're overrated. I mean, they're going to probably be the 2 seed, but that's a team that I'm looking to avoid. And I'm kind of hoping to avoid that number 1 pick too, because I like seeing the majority of people take Cup 1 overall. Because I feel like the Rams could be 1 and done or 2 and done here, and I think that's better advantage for us going forward if we can nail these fades right.
Yeah, I definitely have not learned my lesson with fading Cup in regular season best ball. I'm going to continue to do it over to playoff best ball. I'm sure Title would yell at us for that, but you know what? I'm doubling down on that. You know, like I definitely think the 49ers. I'm looking at you know, like a 49ers versus let's say that the Bucks did get Uncle Lenny back. They're facing a team in the 49ers that's second. Their defense is second against the run in DVOA, right? And we're talking about a Buccaneers team that is 12th versus the run in DVOA. I mean, that right there, you know, like that's an advantage for the 49ers for their strong point. Like they love to run the ball, you know, and the Bucks have been, you know, like they kind of have a reputation for being really strong against the run. So I was kind of surprised to see that they were 12th versus the run as far as DVOA. I know Vita was hurt for a few games during the season, so I'm not sure how much that is accounted into this this rating. But I mean, if they are really kind of middling against the run, then I could see the 49ers like just completely taking advantage of that. And the 49ers are 18th against the pass, but it's like we were saying before, it's like, who are they going to pass to? They got Brown and they got, I mean, sorry, not Brown. They got Evans and they got Gronk, you know, and the 49ers have done a pretty good job at eliminating explosive passes. And that's basically Evans, you know, like, so it's going to be a tough matchup for the Bucks, you know, if they end up facing the 49ers in that first round. So I could totally see an upset in that first round, and I could see the 49ers upsetting the Rams in the second round and making it to, you know, face, you know, the Packers or Cowboys, whoever makes it on that other side of that bracket. So, yeah, I mean, so I've been trying to the beauty of the 49ers too right now, since they haven't made it into the actual playoffs yet, is you can get them for pretty cheap on in this tournament. Like you can get them like super late into this tournament, which I like.
I think a lot of these NFC teams, like outside of Green Bay and the Rams, are going pretty cheap in this best ball format. Like you can get guys from the Cardinals. I think Cliff Kingsbury is a donkey, and I don't like his coaching, but I mean, you can get those Cardinals. Some of those Cardinals are going fairly cheap. I mean, they've got a pretty good opportunity. They're going against the Cowboys. I mean, Dak's, I don't think Dak's that good. I mean, Dak's definitely, he's definitely turnover prone, as he's seen, and I just don't trust the Cowboys and Jerry Jones as a whole, or that coaching organization they have there. So, I mean, the Cardinals could make a run, but I like the Packers too, if you can get any of those guys.
Yeah, I like the Packers too. To your point, like I think the Cowboys, if they face the Cardinals in that first round, which I think is almost lock.
I think that's pretty close to a lock.
Yeah, that's pretty much a lock. So like the Cardinals just beat the Cowboys, and the Cardinals match up really well against the Cowboys as well. You know, like their Cowboys are 18th against the run, and that's what the Cardinals love to do. You know, like and the Cowboys like they got their strong, like obviously strong pass rush, and they got the strong secondary. So, like the Cardinals would be trying to run, but the Cardinals have a strong defense. And like you said, like the Cowboys have not been, but their offense has not been playing well. They got that like blowout game against the Reds, against the football team. But like, other than that, like who have they beaten recently? I haven't really seen them.
They're not even scoring many points on offense either. They're like putting up 14, 17, maybe 20 points. I mean, it hasn't been an explosive offensive showcase from them as of late.
Yeah. And going a little deeper into the AFC, we're looking at a potential rematch of the Chargers and the Chiefs in round 1. So the Chiefs have no easy path to get to round 2, much less the championship. And if they, like everybody is trying to stack those Chiefs early on in this tournament, I mean, you're potentially wasting like your top 2 picks on a team that's not even going to advance, when you can just take, now this is assuming the Chargers make it in, but you can take the Chargers much later in that tournament and potentially put yourself in a much better situation. Because I mean, I remember watching that game. The Chargers had it pretty handled until the end of the game, where they got that lucky touchdown by Kelsey. Like where none of the Chargers guys could tackle him. And he just like literally like weaved through that defense without getting touched. So like it was a it was looking good for the Chargers up until that point. Like and that game too, let's not forget, like it started out like really bad for the Chargers because they lost Parham on the like first play, I believe.
Yeah, that shook the whole team.
Yeah, and they almost lost somebody else too.
I think Mike Williams went out for a little bit in that game.
Yeah, Williams, that's right. Yeah, so they almost they were shaken like to start that game. Like they were charged down that field. We're ready to score a touchdown on the opening drive, and then all those injuries happened. So it's just kind of like freak stuff. But they were still in control of that game for the majority of that game up until that very last play by Kelsey, I believe. So the Chargers could easily knock off the Chiefs in that first round. If they happen to, make it into the playoffs. If it was the Raiders, I'd feel much better about the Chiefs, but it could potentially be the Chargers. So I've been trying to load up on Chargers, like in those later rounds, and load up on 49ers, like I said earlier. And I also like the Bengals. What do you think about the Bengals matchup if they potentially face the Colts in that first round, Snyder?
Yeah, I don't mind him. I mean, for sure. I mean, Jamar Chase, we were all over him before the season, coming into the regular best ball season. Definitely want to keep attacking Jamar Chase. I mean, he's just a freak out there, like I said numerous times this year. I mean, we were on him in DFS when he was cheap on those first few weeks. We said he was going to be a 7-8K receiver by the end of the year, and we've been on him all year, basically. So, I mean, he's the guy that's he's got the game-breaking speed, he's got that next level. We saw in that catch he had last week, he caught the ball and he hit like that third gear and he was just gone. No one was catching him. He's definitely a guy I'm looking to if I can get him. I mean, he's kind of his price has definitely been going up in the few best balls I've been in. But if I'm in position to acquire that stack, I'm definitely interested in that for sure. I mean, it's mainly been the Bills for me just because of where I've been drafting. And if I haven't been taking the Chiefs, I've been taking the Chargers there. I've been kind of on one of those two teams, just how it's worked out for me if my draft position so far. So I've been kind of trying to attack two of these three teams. I mean, if I would have landed on one of these Bengals guys, I definitely would have exposure to them for sure. I probably will as I progress throughout this best ball drafting process as we lead up to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I definitely think the Colts are beatable. I mean, they got Jonathan Taylor, but Carson Wentz sucks. I mean, I have no faith in him whatsoever. So, I mean, this Bengals team is good too. I mean, they went toe to toe with the Chiefs. They beat the Ravens. They've had a lot of good wins this year.
Yeah, and the weak point of the Colts is their pass defense. So, I mean, it's not like they have a third ranked DVOA against the run, but the pass is middling. And we've seen teams exploit the pass defense of the Colts all season, and the Bengals could easily jump all over that and probably have success against the run game, the run defense. Honestly, they got a stud in Mixon, and like the pressure that the Bengals are able to put on the Colts with their passing game, I'm sure would open up a lot of stuff for Mixon to take advantage of too. So I think that the Bengals would stand a really good chance to face whoever the winner of the Chargers Chiefs. And I mean, the AFC is looking like shootouts left and right.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, the Chargers gave the Chiefs everything they wanted in that first game. I think it was like 30-27 or 30-24 or something like that. I mean, they were just going back and forth that whole game as well. I mean, there's a lot more fantasy points to be had, I think, in these AFC games.
I think you're right. Yep, I think you're right. And the only team that I don't want my teams running into is the Patriots. Like the Patriots. I'm a little bit nervous about the Bills facing the Patriots. Other than they just put up like 28, 31 points on them or something like that. So like the Bills, like with their familiarity with the Patriots, maybe like we're able to handle them. But I don't want to see the Patriots advancing because that's going to ruin all the fantasy goodness and
definitely
in general. Yeah, I mean, I won't mind it in showdown slates and stuff like that. But like for our purposes here with trying to draft teams to make it to the finals of this tournament that we're entering, we want it to be a little bit more fantasy friendly. So yeah, like we were saying earlier, the promo is $100 deposit match with your first deposit on Underdog if you haven't already opened an account there, and use the promo code RunPure to get that $100 deposit match. So that's a deposit match. It's not like they're going to throw in $100. You got to deposit $100 to get $100. So it's a really good promo though, and that'll get you 4 entries into the gauntlet, which is a $25 entry. They also got smaller contests. The Mitten 2 just opened. I think that's like a 100K prize pool. It's a pretty good
100K
one from what I saw. Yeah. So that's 100K prize pool, and that's only $5 to enter too. So if you're more into much lower dollar stakes, then the $5 one's a good one too. I've been like just jamming those in. Those fill up quick though. Like it's already halfway filled, and it just opened yesterday. So I'm guessing they'll probably have a couple more by the time we get to the actual beginning of this thing. So this thing will officially kick off in a little over a week, but the drafting has already started, and that's where we're getting all these situations where we can get like cheap teams that haven't made it to the playoffs yet. But if you project a team that you like to make it, it might be the Saints. Maybe you like the Saints. You could get the Saints stack super cheap, so it's good to cover all your angles, and the Mitten's really good for that because it's a low dollar opportunity cost there. So if we go into the gauntlet, you want to jump in a draft here, Snyder? We can
that's cool.
We can try going in the Mitten. Just give me a heads up when you're ready. We'll press enter on the count of 3.
Yeah, I'm there now.
Okay. Are you in?
Yeah, just count to 3 or whatnot.
Oh,
you
1, 2, 3. Yep, I'm in. Okay, now it says 2 more to start, 1 more to start.
That's where I'm at. Mine says 2 more. Yeah, now I think we're kosher there.
Drafting. Mine says drafting soon. Draft starts in a minute. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you got the number 1 pick, it looks like.
Yep. And you are number 5, looks like. All right, so if I get the number 1 spot, typically I'm looking at the Packers because I have enough teams that I'm liking like later on in the rounds that I can take the first round bye. I'm not too concerned about it. And like I said, like the Packers are my favorite. I think the Packers probably have the most obvious path to making it to the conference final.
I think so. They're a pretty big Super Bowl favorite too. I think 4-1 or something.
Yep, I like that too. So Adams, obviously.
I like that pick.
Good first pick. I don't understand. Like, people are taking Kupp over Adams in that top spot. I just like the recency bias or whatever. It's just keeping Kupp up there. But like I said, like we definitely got punished in the regular season. I don't know how much you faded him in, but I don't think I had a single Kupp share.
I had some of him, but I didn't have as much as I probably should have. I actually had him on that one team that made it to the semis.
Yeah.
Him and Aroma St. Brown and Jared Goff were the ones leading that.
Man, we're gonna have some fun next summer with these best ball drafts when they start up again. I'm definitely gonna save most of my bullets for probably a month and a half out of the season starting. I don't want to get burned with injuries, like losing, like a quarter of your teams before the season even starts is just like such a nut kick.
I hit the wrong button. I wanted to take Kelsey before him.
Oh, who'd you get?
Mahomes. I meant to.
I'll be honest
because that guy took Diggs right in front of me, and I was gonna try and get Diggs and Allen again.
It's a little tricky in that first round if you're aiming for the Chiefs stack, because if you're the first one to pick a Chief, right, then the next person after you who picks a Chief is going to get Mahomes, right? So unless I'm taking the second Chief, like, I don't want to try to stack the Chiefs because I don't want to end up with like a naked hill or something like that,
Yeah. I just ended up going with two quarterbacks. Mahomes and Rodgers.
Oh, fucker. Oh, that's you bastard. So you fucking took Rodgers from me. Like, see.
I didn't want to take Taylor.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for that. All right. So now I got to completely regroup here and try to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. Let's see. Just like the regular season, like Snyder comes in instantly and just like destroys your hopes and dreams. All right.
Keep your head on the swivel.
God damn it. And someone just took Chase. So.
Yeah.
So that was my
I thought about taking him.
Yeah. Well, you should have, man. Should have taken him. All right. So we got Higgins and Mixon. So I guess I'm going in that direction. Let's see. Yeah, the Bengals are just so stacked, man. It's just like their team is just like they got so many weapons on that team. Next year for best ball, I'm hoping it's one of those situations where it's like an obvious team to stack, but nobody's stacking it anyways,
Yeah, I agree.
How far do you think the Titans get?
I'm not really high on them.
I
know the Super Bowl odds have been coming down quite big over the last 3 or 4 weeks, but I mean, they're getting Derrick Henry back. They got the number 1 seed, the bye. I mean, they got home field advantage. That defense is playing great. I mean, it's tough to bet against them, but I think it's tough to also back them in the same sense. I mean, they're going to be in some really close games. I think they're going to be low scoring, leaning on the run, trying to win like a 17-14 type game, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm back up.
That's the type of game that Vrabel likes to win.
I even take Henry here. I can't pass up Henry there in the 3rd round, though.
Yeah, not in the 3rd.
So I got 2 quarterbacks. I got Mahomes, Rodgers, and I stacked Aaron Jones with Rodgers to get more Packers offense, and then I got Derrick Henry.
Nice.
Kind of a contrarian stack with the quarterback and running back, but hopefully I get all the touchdowns.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody took Eckler already. The Chargers, I've noticed, have been going sooner than they had been. So people are kind of catching on, I think. So that kind of ruins that the hopes of that stack for me. Yeah, like I said, it's tough.
Yeah.
I don't like to go AFC versus a total NFC stack, but like sometimes you just kind of get pinned into it.
Oh, for sure. Where are we at? Yeah, I like that squad.
There's still a Cowboys stack lingering out there. Like I wonder if anyone's going to start picking that.
I was kind of looking at that. I don't think I need 3 quarterbacks though.
Yeah, I do like to get, like, especially in these little 6-mans, I like to get on either the front end or the back end of that where you can just double tap it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially in a contest like this where stacks are so important,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's so hard or so easy to get your stacks. They're so hard for people to kind of limit you from them too if you get the one guy.
Yeah.
There went Dak.
Your boy Zeke.
Yeah, I'm not a big Zeke guy anymore. I just go with Edwards-Helaire, I guess.
Kind of surprised you didn't follow up with the AJ Brown.
Yeah, I could have. I mean, he's still there.
He'll make it back to you.
Yeah. I was looking at him, and I was looking at Dawson Knox also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take some more Titans offense there. Get the main 2 guys there.
Yeah. Like this is like the everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face type of thing. Like you can go in there with plans to, all I got to do is stack, like a couple teams, like, and then the next thing you know, you got like 4 guys on different teams on your team, and you're like, what the hell just happened, man?
Yeah.
Like it turns on you quick, like, because there's a combination of people who aren't really like following any type of strategy, and also like just bad luck in general. Like right now, for instance, I got it's Burrow, I got Higgins. I'm in kind of a situation like that right now.
The roster construction on this is interesting too. You're gonna start 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 pass catchers, and then a flex, because you can get by with only having maybe 2 running backs on your team at times if you wanted to go that route.
Yeah, for sure. But I do notice there's a lot of decent running backs lingering at the end.
Yeah,
there.
For sure. I'm gonna take MVS here most likely to stack him with Rodgers.
Yeah, you know what? I should have actually done that. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, I forgot I had Adams on my team. Let's see.
And Chase Edmonds, he could be the top scoring running back on this whole slate on an individual game.
Yeah.
He's still down there quite a bit.
He's got Cowboys in that first round, and what did we say? The Cowboys are 18th first to run, so he's got quite the matchup there. Connor could easily do that too. Either one of those dudes. I've been drafting a decent amount of Connor.
Oh, right on, yeah.
Oh, you took Lazard too. Damn it.
I got a couple. The only bad thing about this now is that
you got the entire Green Bay stack that I was going for.
I got the whole Green Bay offense, but I'm gonna need a couple of receivers here to go off in this first round, as all my receivers are on bye.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So I need to get out of this first round to have a chance.
That's the thing too, is like you got to pay a lot of attention to that first round, because you could easily, you could think you have the nuts, and then you can end up with like a team that's not even going to advance.
Yeah. I think a couple of these guys have some good upside here, though.
Yeah. I got a pretty full Bengals stack and a pretty full 49ers stack right now. Yeah, we got some slim
Hopefully
pickings towards the end of this one.
I'm hoping to get Van Jefferson here if he doesn't take him from me.
Yeah. Like this format makes you make some weird decisions. Like you'll take like a scrub to get him on your stack over like a stud. You know what I mean? It's just like it's all chaos. Like everybody's just trying to stack teams, and it like leaves a lot of, and that could be something like easily to take advantage of.
And I'm going to take Ertz here with my last pick. So I got Ertz and Van Jefferson as my running backs in that first week with Jones and CEH.
Yeah, I like it.
With Mahomes. Then I got the Packers onslaught minus Devontae if we can make it through.
Yeah. I'm going to grab Ayuk with my my final pick here just to complete my my 49ers stack. And if they get eliminated on Sunday, then I'm basically fucked with like a lot of these teams. Fortunately,
you got a lot of good upside though.
Yeah, true. The 49ers would definitely be a good team to have ownership in if they make a run like I'm kind of projecting.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's take a look at the teams here. We'll go to mine. Now the projections again, these damn projections. Like I'm projected for 137. Obviously, that's because I'm drafting, entire 49ers team that hasn't even made it into the playoffs yet. So apparently, like the projections don't think that the 49ers are gonna put up any get into these playoffs. This dude John got 324 just for a comparison there. So my team, I got Burrow and Garoppolo, Mixon and Mitchell, Adams, Higgins, Samuel, Kittle, Boyd, and Ayuk. So I basically my whole roster is just two teams except for Adams. And Snyder, let's see what you did here. You got Mahomes and Rodgers. You stacked Rodgers with Aaron Jones and Marquise Valdes-Scantling and Alan Lazard. You stacked Mahomes with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Oh, and you got Aaron Jones. I don't know if I mentioned that. Edwards-Helaire and no Chiefs receivers. But you got Derrick Henry, who was good value. You can't really pass that up. You paired him with A.J. Brown. And then you got Van Jefferson and Zach Ertz as one-offs there, like in good week one. At least Ertz has a good week one matchup. I'm not sure about the Rams. Yep, Rams got a good one too. Yep. So like solid teams. Like I think it's
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, but switch it back to our normal shot here. Yeah, so basically that's it. That's playoff draft. We'll do a few more of these before playoffs start. It's gonna be super fun to just keep firing away at these things before the playoffs start. So get in now. Like we said, use the promo code RunPure to get that $100 deposit match for first-time depositors, and go check out the format and have some fun with it. Snyder, thanks for jumping on with me, man. And we'll
it was a fun time. Looking forward to the next time. Yeah,
good stuff. And just a reminder too, while we're at it, go to Run Pure Sports, sign up for our premium content. We cover every sport with our premium package. It's only $80. You can add on bets for an additional $20, and you can add on Saber Sim now for, you get the whole thing. How much you get the whole thing for, Snyder? What is it like?
I think it's like around 130. We actually had Saber actually updated that extension we had been kind of teasing about for a while with core plays and the player pool now.
Great.
So you can import like BigTs or hoops or APs or JSUs, any of these guys' cores. You can it's going to be automatically imported to the Saber Sim tool, and it'll be at your leisure for however you want to put those guys into your lineups and such, or however you want to allocate them to your portfolio for that day.
That's awesome, because we got the best tournament players in the world, and like you can't really beat our roster of tournament players or cash players, to be honest. Like Hoop and Mangone over on the cash side, we got all the great DFS tournament players, the guys that you see at the top of the leaderboards all the time, and they're basically giving you the plays that they're playing each week, and you have a optimizer that they're using. You can pull their plays right into that optimizer and just fire away and try to win some of these GPPs. Obviously, you got to have guys you like, adjust your projections within that optimizer to get the guys that you like more likely to get fired off into your lineups and stuff like that. But it's a whole bunch of stuff that you can play with. Optimizers are really fun. I've been doing a lot of that recently with some success. And Snyder, do you do optimizers? Do you use them a lot for mass multi or like smaller number of entries?
Yeah, I've been using Saber for probably about 2 months now. Yeah, getting pretty used to it now and more comfortable with it. And yeah, it's definitely next level. I mean, what this optimizer does compared to others that I've used is just completely on another level. They're so much more down the road. Their technology, the guys they got running this. I mean, some of those websites, they get to where they are and they kind of peak. But these Saber Sim guys, they just keep pushing the envelope day in and day out. I mean, this thing just getting better and better.
Those ones that you're talking about that just like peak and they plateau, like it'll take an hour for the damn projections to load in. Like it'll take an hour just for the thing. It's like being on a AOL or something. It's just like it's such a shitty platform. But you go to Saber Sim, use Saber Sim, and like they're like the interface is great. Like it just seems like modern and modernized, and it's just the perfect platform as far as I'm concerned.
And if you play different contests, you can go in there, say you have a 20 max, you have a 3 max, and you have a 150 max, and you want to integrate those lineups, you can just click on that 150 max, throw all your 150 into there. But if you have a set of lineups that you only want in like a 20 max, you can select that 20 max. You can upload those CSVs individually. I mean, it's so much better than the copy and paste days. I mean, this does it all for you without no worries.
Yeah, that's great. Yep, perfect. All right, man. So we'll see you guys next time. Until then, enjoy the drafting, and we'll probably see you in some of these live drafts.
What is going on, Rumpier fam? Allie here with an update from all of the big wins this past week by our great Rumpier Sports members and hosts. Huge congrats to Rumpier's very own Kay Fallick on the big 27K day in college football. Other RPS hosts to ship included Mangone with a 25K hit in NBA, and AP, who had a 12K NBA night after calling his shot on our Hardwood show.
The thing about Kuzma, he's 8K now. So I think he's more so a tournament play. I think that price tag is going to keep ownership down, but look to see where kind of the industry average is and then project them up. And then Daniel Gafford, I think, man, if he gets 30 minutes here, I'm going to say it right now, he's getting 40 plus fantasy points easy in this matchup. And I'm on the Wizards side. But
the biggest winners were our members who continue to crush it as we head into the new year. In NHL, T. Wayrich took home 27K. In NBA, Bobby Hare hit for 12K on DraftKings, while Nick the Stick pulled in 17K. Our football content is continuing a hot streak by producing winners, and our members are cashing in, including JMoney75, who hit for 10K at Yahoo, and our biggest winner was Russell D, who repped the RPS brand while pulling in 150K in DraftKings Best Ball Millie Tournament. And speaking of Best Ball Underdog, they are running a bunch of playoff best ball tournaments. If you haven't signed up, now is the perfect time to do so. By using offer code RUNPURE, you can get $20 with your first deposit. We've recently teamed with SaberSim to offer a great deal on a combo subscription where you can access all of our content and their great optimizer and projection system for one low price, which will save you close to $50 monthly. Head on over to runpuresports.com to get the deals and start running pure with us.